Tell me some of the kinds of things you do in your spare time.
I like to work with wood.
Okay.
I like to fish a lot.
Oh.
I like to trout fish. I like to
Okay.
fly fish.
I've just written down what you just said here. I like to fish. Okay, read that for me.
Okay, I like to fish.
Okay. Now that's one of the ways we can help you learn how to read better is just to listen to you talk about things that are important to you, and then we write down what you say, and then you learn how to read what you've said. I just find I can do it a lot better if I just cut these things apart and just move them around and put them back together. So here's the word I like
I see what you're doing
to fish. Now we'll mix them up and we'll do it this way. I, so we'll move it right under that, like, and you do the rest of it. Okay?
to
Okay.
fish.
All right, that's good. That's good, James. You do the whole thing. Okay, James, let's look again. This is what we start off with. I like to fish. And now I got it typed up. And this will be easier for us to learn because this looks just like it would in a book. I like to fish. All right, so here we go. I like to fish. Okay, and that's just, see how that matches there? I like to fish. Let me take this away. And then let's mix these things up. And let's do that again. You do the next one. Okay, that's fish. Okay, all right. Let's look at this together. Okay, does this look like this one?
It's different
Okay,
thing
so
on the top there.
that's right. So this is
That's fish.
that goes, so that goes down in here. Okay, now
Okay.
let's get the others. Okay,
I like
good.
to fish.
Good deal, good deal. All right, now that's okay. See, but this will help us in case you get them a little confused. Then you can pull them back out, and that's a good way to do it. You just use this as sort of your sample. And here again we go.
Okay. I like
Good.
to fish.
Good.
Okay.
Now later you're gonna have several of these. You're gonna have a whole group of these, and then sometimes it's sort of easy to forget what the sentence is. So what would probably help us now if you just sort of draw little stick figures or whatever, so you can remember what that sentence is.
Maybe a picture of someone fishing.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay. Let's see.
Good. Wow, you're really good at this. Looks like he just caught a big one too.
Okay.
Super. So when you got 10, 15, see, as we keep adding and adding and adding to these things, then if you can't quite remember what that sentence is, then you just look at that picture and say, yeah, I like to fish. I remember what that is. That's I like to fish, okay? And we put these pieces on the inside, and you get them out and practice them.
Let's have you try.
Front wheels mostly have disc brakes. That's where you need most of the power to stop.
Using what we call language experience. He's finding out more about Kurt's job, and he's beginning to identify the words that Kurt will need to learn. Kurt already knows the words brake pads, disc, caliper, and hydraulic fluid. He uses his listening and speaking skills to communicate this information to coworkers and customers every day.
John's goal is to build on what Kurt can already do, talk about his job. Together, they are now beginning to build the bridge from being able to talk about these important words to being able to read them. Let's watch as they finish the passage and see what John decides to do next.
Against the disc. Kind of like squeezing the disc between two hands, and that's what makes you stop.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, but I don't really think I can read all these words.
I mean, you don't think you could read them if you saw them alone?
Yeah, right, or on a list of parts.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's work on that. Which words would you most like to be able to read?
All of them. Well, these here seem to be the hardest, like hydraulic fluid.
Okay.
And
Caliper, here, let me try it for you. Caliper.
Caliper, this one,
Piston.
piston, this one here,
Cylinder.
cylinder.
Okay, now, you had a little bit of trouble with the word pressure also, so let's, let's add that to the list. Now, what I'd like you to do is to take these cards and print each of the words on separate cards for me. All right, hydraulic fluid.
Hydraulic fluid.
All right, let's see. Caliper.
John knows how important it is for Kurt to make decisions about his own learning.
Caliper.
So most of the words that Kurt is working on are ones he chose.
It's also important for Kurt to copy the words himself. He'll have a chance to practice writing them, and he'll also experience the satisfaction of reading them in his own handwriting.
Okay, now let's take the first card, let's place it under the same word in your story, and then read the word.
Caliper.
Good. Now lay that card aside and do the same with each of the other cards.
Piston. That cylinder is a hard one to remember.
Why don't you draw a picture on the back of the card? Maybe that'll help you remember.
I really can't draw. Well, I suppose it looks something like this. I suppose that'll help me remember.
Really, that's all that matters. Now, what I'd like you to do is to shuffle all these cards and then read each one. You can look back at your story if you need a little extra help. Okay.
Caliper. Piston. Cylinder. Pressure. The long one. Hydraulic fluid.
Oh, listen, that was very good. Now remember, these are your cards. Take them home, practice with your story with them, bring them to the next session, and we'll work on them again until you know them all by sight. Now let's see the cards that say caliper and cylinder again. Got them there? You know, you've learned a lot already. You've learned a lot of sounds. For example, what's the sound for C?
K, as in, like in car.
See, that's excellent. You used the key word you picked to help you remember the sound. Now, what letter comes after the C?
A.
Now look at the word cylinder. Now, in this word, the C has a different sound. What is it?
Cylinder. It's like an S.
Right. Now, what's that sound?
The S sound.
What letter comes after the C in cylinder?
Y.
Great. Now, there's a way to tell whether C will have the K sound or the S sound. Take a look at these words. Look at the words in this first column as I read them. Caliper, car, coat, come, cup. Now you read them.
Caliper, car, coat, come, cup.
What sound does C make in each of these words?
The K sound.
Okay. What vowels come right after the letter C?
A, O, and U.
Okay, let's put these at the top of the column. Now, look at the words in the second column and read each one after I read it. Cylinder,
Cylinder,
bicycle,
bicycle,
city,
city,
decide,
decide,
scent.
scent.
In this column, what sound does the letter C make?
Makes the S sound.
Good. Now, what vowels come right after the letter C in these words?
I, E, and the Y in bicycle.
Yeah, see, that's an example where Y is also a vowel. Now, you tell me how you can tell whether the letter C will have the K sound or the S sound.
Well, I guess if an A, O, or U comes after it, it will be K. And if it's an I, E, or Y, it's S.
Well, that's exactly it. Now, let's try that out. Let me write a couple words here for you. Now, see if you can read these for me.
Sell, call.
Now, do they follow the rule?
Yes.
All right, let's try this word.
There's two C's there. The first one sounds like S, but the second one comes before U, so it sounds like K. Circus. Circus. I've got it now.
Take a look at your story. You didn't have much problem with that word. Please read it.
Break. Yeah, I see that one a lot.
You know, just knowing that word will help you with a lot of other words. Now, let's stretch a minute. We'll move over and we'll use the blackboard.
Okay.
Okay, the word is break. Let me put it on the board here for you. Now, what's the sound of this part of the word?
Ache.
Okay, let me put that up here. Now let's change the BR to a C. You already know that when C comes before A, it makes what sound?
K.
All right, now let's read this word.
Cake. Yeah, that would be nice right now.
Well, hang on, we're almost through. Now let's look at some of the other words that have the ache pattern. What do we get if we put the letter B before ache?
Ache, bake.
Okay, now please write it under cake. Cake in them?
How about shake?
Good, why don't you put that one down? Excellent. Anything else?
Well, bake, we already have that one. C, cake, we have that one too. That's, bake's not a word. F, how about fake?
That's good. Why don't you put that one down there? Kurt, I don't know if I have any cake, but I do have some cheese crackers for you. You know, you've done an outstanding job today, and you deserve them.
Thanks.